The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Persons under 18 will not be admitted.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another kick-ass episode of Still Toking with. Second show of July, celebrating America's 250th. I think all our guests this month have something to do with stuff like that. But I am really excited about tonight's guest. This gentleman comes from a very, very long line of legendary, iconic entertainment people. We're going to leave it like that. He climbed through those ranks, became an iconic legend himself in many, many parts of the industry. Not going to steal the thunder, because we like it when the thunder comes from the flashy one himself, Mr. Jeffrey Mark.
Hello, cats and kittens, and welcome. Yeah, I'm this guy is wonderful. I am all excited that this man is on our show today. So talented, so nice, so sexy, so everything. He's going to be a great guest. And why wait? Would you please welcome to our show Cam Clarke?
Hey, everybody.
There he is.
Boy, what an intro, you guys. That's going to be hard to live up to.
Nah, just be yourself.
Right. And folks, if you don't know who this gentleman is, then you literally have been living under a rock your whole life. And I'm just going to say that. We're going to cover as much as we possibly can tonight, because there's just so much.
Or maybe that rock is a tombstone, because that's how long ago we're going to travel back.
Now. I was around back then.
I was not really at the beginning. but maybe the beginning of your career, maybe. Right?
Okay, all
I
right.
mean, I was born in
works.
72, but I know your family.
Rub it in. Rub it in.
Your family goes back way back past that.
Well, I was,
You know,
as a little boy, very aware of the King sisters. And when you all first appeared, so folks, in case you don't know, the King sisters were this wonderful 4 blonde, gorgeous ladies who sang like angels. And then after the big band era, they came into television and they appeared on a variety show called The Hollywood Palace. And they were such a success there, they got their own series. And you were there right from the beginning of that as a little itty bitty boy.
I was indeed.
Do you have clear memories of it?
Oh, turn off your beep boops. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I can't hear you. Oh, we'll deal. I'm a technophobe. Can we start with that? Hi,
Sure.
I'm Cam Clarke, and I'm a technophobe. And I have no chips to prove how long I have been technical. Yeah, I was. And the whole thing was basically a fluke. I thought of that because when you said, and after they were the big band, they ended up on TV as the family. The King sisters had a second career in the 50s. They were considered washed. I mean, since the beginning of entertainment, there's been ageism. And come the 50s, they were releasing a couple of singles and stuff. But my mom, and I'm giving you some pre-roll on, became a widow. Her first husband died and left her with 2 little kids. She was living back east. The girls had pretty much, stopped performing, having babies and stuff. And the only good thing that came out of that, as Mom would say, it was horrible, but it meant I could move back to California, which was home with her family. Mm-hmm. And her younger sister, Yvonne, who is the brainchild of all of this stuff, she said, girls, we ought to get back together because, we need something to cheer up Alice and take her mind off of things. So that is literally what happened. However, like I said, they couldn't get arrested. So a friend of theirs, I don't remember, who it was, said, and they'd been listening to the groups of the day, the jazz, pop to the jazz side, like the 4 Freshmen, the high-lows and stuff. So they did some new demos with a whole different sound. They lowered their keys, sang a lot of unison within when the clusterfuck chords, as we call them, would bust out. They had a friend at Capitol who said, these are great, but I can't present them with your picture or names with it. So he had an idea. He submitted it like, brown paper folder with a string, whatever, and took them to the brass, A&R, and said, hey, I found this great new girl group. 50s, because they were like the Andrews sisters. And in the 50s, we're not talking mid-50s. They rearranged the sound to be a 50s kind of jazz in the pocket kind of thing. And so he played this demo of this new girls group, and they went nuts. And they said, let's sign them. And he said, well, they're like, here's the King sisters if you want to remember them. Okay, we're taking a gamble. So they were back in the studio, nominated for a Grammy for the first album out of this new sound. And in fact, Esquire magazine named them the best new up-and-coming group. So just like today, nobody knows their history, right?
Right.
It's as long as your consciousness and like, okay, look back, see where you've come from, even if you weren't here kind of thing. Anyway, fast forward, the King sisters were asked to do a benefit fundraiser. And Yvonne got this wacky idea to you know what? Why don't we do something else? Instead of just doing our act, let's bring the kids along. Let's bring our husbands and blah, blah, blah. In Hollywood, the children of the celebrity, the singers, would be in the studio doing backups. Not everybody, but like, for example, Frank Sinatra's High Hopes, which was a big hit for him. And Doris Day's, of course, iconic Que Sera Sera. The background children, and on those records, it was a kids' choir. And those were put together with the kids, the singers. So my older sibs already and cousins already had been in the studio. Anyway, she put together this show. We tossed it up on the stage, and she had one of the students at the university, film it with, I think, I don't even know if it was I don't even know if it was 16, but Super 8. That I don't know. But it was pretty gritty. And she took it to a friend at ABC. And he said, I'm going to get you a studio in San Francisco. She was living in Orinda, California at the time. Cut this down to an hour and I will pitch it. She did. He did. And they said, how soon can we get a pilot? So that sounds kind of Hollywoody and fairy tale, but it was that.
That's true.
It was that kind of A, B, C, D. It had that kind of a through line. There was, no pounding the pavement. She just happened to have this wacky idea, and it sold.
That's usually how things work. I mean, we're
sometimes.
Go ahead.
Sometimes, I mean, a lot of times people hit the pavement hard, or they try and they try and they try, and it, they don't get it, and then finally they get their break. As far as the King family goes, it just happened. One filming, taken to a friend at ABC, boom. Of course, it helps to have a friend at ABC.
It's nice to have friends, folks. Remember that.
And to put it in musical perspective, their appearance on the Hollywood Palace, which was, I guess, their kind of sort of a pilot for the series, happens, forgive me if I'm about 15, 16 months after the Beatles come to this country. The world is changing. The music is changing. And there was nothing new for people listening to what we now call the Great American Songbook or jazz. All of that was being pushed aside. The Hollywood Palace was this variety show that had jugglers and animal acts and comedians and rock singers and singers like the King family. And it gave them the chance to satisfy that itch that needed to be scratched for people who loved this kind of music and loved the idea of family.
One of our appearances there, we were on the same bill with this new crazy rock and roll group. What is their name? Oh yeah, the Rolling Stones. So yes, it is all over the map. And for those of you that might have been that are listening, that remember the Ed Sullivan Show, which was a iconic, huge thing. This was ABC's answer to the Sullivan Show. Yes, jugglers and rock and roll and chimpanzees, whatever. So, and the difference was they had revolving hosts on the Hollywood Palace. But yeah, it was a variety show. Almost, both those shows remind me more of like vaudeville, where there was a little bit of everything.
That's exactly what they were. They were vaudeville or videoville,
right.
Was there any, for you being a little boy, was there any hesitance, any stage fright, or you just like, this is what my family does and here I am?
I was 6 years old when we first did these couple of stage shows to check it out, to do that benefit. That was in '63. And Hollywood Palace gave us, I think, maybe 4 spots before our pilot episode aired in the summer of '64. I don't know anything else. I mean, and even the older kids, it was like, we got a TV show. Okay. I wish I had some funny stories of where there's people out there, but it's like no. The short answer.
He says no. Hold on, let me get my other glasses to answer this, as he would say.
So we don't have any of
that's fine. The show ran, and then it didn't, and then it ran as a series of specials, and then it didn't, and then it was a summer replacement series, and then it went into syndication. So all these years, from the middle to the late '60s into the early '70s, these shows were being seen over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. While Tina, your cousin, was on My Three Sons, and the King cousins were appearing as a group together, and it was just all this activity. At what point does Cam? I have such a joke I want to say, and I won't say it because you've heard it, I'm sure, a million times. But
do it. It's my first time on your show.
All right. When does the King?
Is it a dad joke?
When does the King? Don't step on it. When does the King Queen walk away on his own to become Cam, the individual performer?
I never. There was no walking away. I'm sorry to be stuttering. I want to go back.
I have an effect on people.
Yeah. To go back to your question about was it weird to start, I can answer that with literally the flip side. We were raised, we suckled on the teat of entertainment. So when it did stop, that was, wait, what? What? For those of you that have seen our performances, either, live or on television, what we presented was, and I'm not exaggerating, was our real life. Mom's in the business. There was always singing in the house, and we always were singing together around the house. And our moms, I like to say, there were 6 sisters in all that would rotate. And I like to say I had my mom and 5 Auntie Mames. Because that's
and Alvino Ray is an uncle, and Buddy Cole is an uncle. I'm a big fan of Buddy Cole and his live bait boat band. I love Buddy's music.
I thought that everyone in the world, because we were so self-contained, and then I became adult and I started hanging out with people, and wait, doesn't everybody wear red, white, and blue exclusively on the 4th of July? And isn't it pastels on Easter? And don't you sing before you dig into the potato salad? I mean, nothing was without music. And to step out and to go to people's houses and go, wait, where's the this? Where's the that? Oh, you mean everybody? We'd go on picnics. We'd be on the road in our tour bus, and Yvonne would shout, "Stop the bus. Perfect place for a picnic." So there's a little general store. Everybody grabs stuff, puts blankets out. Even when we would just go to the park for a holiday, there were flowers. There were candlesticks, because we are going into the evening. They were set. And so this is the world I came from. And to go to a pedestrian, how most people do their thing, do their holiday, or they're hanging out or whatever, that was a shock. That was the shocker. So to answer your other question, I just kept on. For example, Lorette and I, who was my little partner in crime. She and I did all the little station breaks on the show and stuff. We had agents, and when we were well, to be honest, the family, we didn't stop touring till I was out of high school. So she and I would book commercials. We did a couple of things because we looked so much alike. A couple commercials that we'd read together, and they go, "Oh, there's our siblings." So, and then I started getting work on my own singer-dancer stuff. And my name got passed around. Just my name, Jeffrey.
So, folks,
no.
Well,
When I flirt with you, it's going to be much more sophisticated than that.
Well, we have a 2-second break here. If you want to know more about what we're discussing this evening, please take a look at the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. Cam's information is there, including a link to his book, which is one of the things that we're actually discussing right here, folks. The name of the book is called Now They're All Here, The King Family. Over 100 years of entertainment from America's first family of song. Check it out. Back to the show.
Us.
And I want an autographed copy of that. I can't wait to read it.
It can be done, and it's a coffee table book. It's about yay by yay, filled with beautiful photographs, and the title, which sounds a little corny, goofy, I chose that because that is the only line my grandma had on the run of our show. It was our Thanksgiving special, and they'd chosen this old Victorian home to be where grandma lives and all the bedrooms. And we all run in singing Over the River and Through the Woods.
Yes.
And little cousin Adam, who probably was about 6 at the time, he is not there. There's a pause. He comes running up, gives a peck on grandma on the cheek, runs in, and she says, "Now they're all here." So that's where that came from. Mm-hmm. The format, though, is if you guys are interested in stuff, interested in hearing about it before you buy, I'd read a biography on Truman Capote by George Plimpton, who is a god of writers. And in the preface, he says, if you're looking for a straight up biography on Capote, let me recommend this and this and this. He sells you to other authors. He says, imagine you're at a cocktail party drifting from conversation to conversation. It is no narrative. It's just, it starts with Harper Lee. Truman would do cartwheels all the way home, hoping that his daddy was going to be there, and he never was. And then you've got Gore Vidal with, Truman, he was drunk off his ass all the time. He was drunk. And so I took that format, and as it says on the cover, it is 100 years, but it is 100 years of first person. Nobody speaks for anyone else. If you were not born, I got plenty of people to tell you, tell it from their own mouth. So it is 100 years. It begins with our moms telling the story of when they were kids. I, me, we, never they, them. And as the decades progress, I do a preface since I'm the editor, but I asked all the surviving members of the family to write down their memories. I gave them some key questions to kind of trigger ideas. Mm-hmm. And then I changed the Plimpton idea to imagine you're at a picnic drifting from table to table. And that's how it is laid out. So it is first person, which is such, Mr. Plimpton, I applaud you, such a novel way to just let it be told, I agree, literally by the person. Right. So it is an autobiographical tale.
So folks, go buy it.
Yeah. You can get it at my website, camclarkevoices.com. That's Clark with an E. And you can get it at Amazon.
Which both those links are in the show notes.
Wow,
no excuses.
Look at you.
No excuses.
Professionals.
Ben is the best. Ben is the
Hold
best.
on. I have to change my glasses
Copy
to continue the show. They're the same glasses, just a cleaner pair.
Are you mocking me?
Just a little bit.
I love it.
We've never had a guest come on the show. We asked a question before we got started, and his answer was, let me change my glasses and I'll answer that for you. So we're enjoying you.
That's what we call stalling.
You know. Well, I mean, I could go one step further and say, stop me if I've told you this.
Oh, I love it. There's the King Family After Dark, the sequel.
See that segue? You see how that worked?
So we're going to the dark side now?
I got to put the other ones back on. Those were dirtier. Sorry. Sure. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
The dark?
Sure.
If you feel like it.
If you feel like it.
If there is any.
Over the years, people have, back when we were working and slightly after when it was over, we had many people say, this needs to be a mini. This needs to be dramatized. I think that would work as far as rags to riches goes. And like if it ended with the pilot of the King family's first airing, because it was the Depression. These were, Depression era kids. And in the book, you'll hear stories about, one of the best is we were at a family reunion, maybe back in the 90s. And mom and her sibs are sitting around, and I happened at this one area, and I happened to be there with a couple of the other kids. And mom starts waxing on about daddy. And, daddy would take us camping in the summer. And I'd heard this story many times as a kid. And we'd plant a garden, and we took cows so we would have fresh milk. Now, at 6 years old, I'm going, it's a pretty long camping trip if you're planting seeds. I've read Jack and the Beanstalk. That's only magic. And so she's telling this again. And, the old stories, they all, if it's the right vibe, they sound new again. And her oldest sister gets this look on her face. And she says, Alice, we were not camping. We were homeless. And their daddy, it was an adventure, as a good parent might do if they have the bandwidth when things go south. Of course, the Depression was a whole different set of things, but you could go live in the woods. I don't know if it was on a national park. I don't know. But she thought they were camping, because she'd even say, and daddy would take old logs and, build a little bench and, stuff like that. And that's priceless.
Yes. And what a
as
wonderful attitude to have.
Grandpa?
An attitude about life. We're having all these problems, but I'm going to turn it into an adventure for the children.
Yeah. Yeah. That part was great. I'm going to use a word that's, Grandpa was a gypsy. Canceled. Can't say that anymore. And mom would tell these stories about when they were kids. Like she'd say, and, we couldn't pay the rent. So like thieves in the night, we took off. And I went, as a child, I could do the math. I went, that's not like thieves in the night. That is thieves in the night. Daddy couldn't pay, so they'd pack up in the night and get across the state line. So there's all that he died our first season after about like 4 episodes in. And there were so many of us grandkids. I didn't know him, really. I didn't. He'd sing us the songs we sang at bedtime and stuff. but I didn't know him. But he never got a job. He wanted to be in the business, and they toured around with their family band and passed the hat and stuff. But when the mom started performing and making money, they just took care of mom and dad. And daddy never, he wanted to be an art. He would do paintings and write music, but his kids took care of him, and they had no problem with. They were so in love with this guy that it never even crossed their mind. So the King family, dark. There's nothing. I mean, there's booze. There's very unattractive booze, even though we're Mormons. And my brother also alcohol. Some divorces, but
that's everyday life you're talking.
I was going to say typical family. Typical family.
Yeah, I don't. I will say that some of the antics I saw with the booze, some fights between one of my aunts and her husband, embarrassed the hell out of me. And I think I have an addictive personality, and I think it scared the shite out of me, but from embarrassment more than, ooh, Skid Row. I remember I never called him my uncle because I didn't care for him. Married to one of the sisters, and he was so drunk on stage that he fell into the orchestra pit one time. And another time he couldn't remember his words. So he reaches down into the pit and pulls out a thing of sheet music. And our music was like on accordion paper.
Of course.
It wasn't this, it was this. And he grabs it off of some musician's thing, tosses it across the stage, and goes, "I'm just going to run over my part." And he literally runs over his part. And at 8 years old, I'm going, "You're killing me, dude. You're embarrassing me. I know. I don't care that you're embarrassing yourself. Look, there's people out there." And it stuck. It stuck with me. I will have an occasional drink, but I don't drink. Easter is for a mimosa, and that's about the extent of it.
Right.
Well, perhaps that's why you look so young and healthy.
Right.
It's filters. It's all. It's the smoke from your opening thing. It's still swirling around.
So
Cam,
we did have.
Go ahead.
I was going to say we did have a question come in the chat. So I do like to acknowledge when we have interactions and questions.
I love it.
So I'm gonna pop this up here, and we can go back and forth between what we're talking about in this. It says, "Hey Cam, did you see any of the TMNT movies made by Jim Henson or Michael Bailey? In which do you like?" Real quick before Cam answers that, Jim Henson actually did not make the movie. It was the Creature Shop produced from Jim Henson, just to clarify. But
keeping it real.
Please
keep it real.
What was your name? Can you pull his name? What is his?
It was Joseph Lawson.
Hey, Joseph. To be honest with you, now the other boys won't say this because they have. I've never seen one of the movies. I'm a horrible person. I'm a horrible turtle.
I grew up in that era where TMNT. It was the shit. I mean, that's what it was. If you liked pizza and you liked cartoons, it was the Turtles. I also over time became very good friends with Bill Diamond from Diamond Productions, and Bill was Jim Henson's right hand. He's known as the Great American Puppeteer. Actually, if you guys are in the San Diego area, he's going to be at San Diego Comic-Con. Check him out. But So I've got a lot of stories on hens, and that's why I knew it wasn't actually Jim that produced it. It was actually the Creature Shop that produced that movie series.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the only knowledge I have. So,
and we kind of think one of the things that kept the franchise alive. First of all, we were shocked when we weren't in the first movie. We thought it was a no-brainer, and literally, we're the hit TV show. It's going to the big screen, and it's not us. After we had 9 seasons, I don't remember. And every iteration after that was a different look, the movies and the cartoon shows, different directors. It's a whole different take. 39 years. Because guess what, folks? Next year, 40th anniversary.
40th anniversary.
For our show, 1987. So
yeah, 1987. So real quick before we get into Cam Clarke's voice acting and iconic roles and things like that, where it's going to be the 40th anniversary, do you have any plans on doing conventions?
Funny you should say that. Are we live? You said
Live,
we are live,
baby.
Live.
See you this weekend in Miami. Don't ask me for the details, but they're on my page. I've been doing the cons for about 15 years now. And my buddy Rob Paulson, who was the original Raphael, kept hitting me up. And he basically had to put a gun to my head to do it. And he took we 4 boys went out to dinner, and Rob did his pitch. And I'm like, dude, we are so yesterday's news. Who's going to want our autograph? And all right. I'll give you one. I did not know that these were nostalgia shows. And even with that knowledge, the turnout is insane.
Oh, yeah.
And I will say, as difficult as they can be, what a way to have your third act. I always knew I know I have a name, and I know I'm going to be in the book of animation, right? I know that.
Right.
I didn't know I had an organic continuance in these adult children who come to these shows. And so, I'm out multiple times a year getting paid to hear people say, thank you for my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And we all remain, even the other kids that I go out with, the other cartoon people, it doesn't really go to your head. And I think perhaps one reason is we don't get it. And I don't mean that offensively. When I was a kid, I'd watch the cartoon shows and they were over, and I'd go out and play.
Right.
I never gave a rat's ass about who was the voice of Rocky and Bullwinkle. I mean, famous people within the industry for sure, or Elroy, all those things. They are famous within the industry, but I didn't care, and I wouldn't have lined up for them. It was cartoons didn't have that kind of
grip,
life that, like, on camera, on camera shows have that all the time. But cartoons, it remains a head scratcher that these people line up. And some of the stories that you hear bring tears to your eyes of the, power that these shows have had on these children. Now they're in their 40s and 50s. And I can say that the King family got the same love. And I find it interesting because I'm kind of a compare and despair kind of guy. It's one reason I'm not on Facebook. I don't want to see all those happy, sparkly families. But
yes,
we get, to this day, we get notices from people who, I didn't have any siblings, and the King family, it was like I had a shitty family or no dad, whatever. or foster care. I mean, all that stuff. And we get that same thing with the Turtles. You know, they still say, even though we don't watch television together, so this is a little not current, but we, all of the entertainers, we came into your living room. And that's how we used to watch shows, was together. But we get similar things with the King family. And there is an element in the book, and folks, you can't make this shit up. I have a couple of pages dedicated to fan stories. I reached out to people to tell an experience of seeing us live. And again, they're amazing. I mean, and some little oddities like Dad dropped my girlfriend and me, my two little girls were 12 years old off at we went with one of our nuns from the church. And Dad said, well, I'll pick you up, 10 o'clock, whatever it was. What they didn't know is that it was nuns night at the theater. So where are my kids? I have no idea. I just know there's a lot of black and white. And there are tales that are that kind of random and visceral shared in the book. One guy is in there saying he was so sad he went to get autographs with a family and he didn't have a pen. And he said, and I had such a crush on your cousin Liza, who is Albino Ray's daughter. And Alvino lent me his pen and said, keep it. And I still have that pen to this day. 1965, 66.
Wow.
So, and like we had a guy come up to Townsend Coleman, who is Michelangelo. Again, now we're 50 years forward. We get military come to us, a good share. And one guy hands Townsend Coleman this patch of Michelangelo. Kind of looks like the Velveteen Rabbit. It's kind of, it's been loved. And he kind of like me, a little rough around the edges.
Oh, baby.
He said, and there's some hot soldiers there too. Let me just say. But he wanted Townsend to have it. And he goes, no, I mean, why, what is this? And he was on the front lines in Iraq, a couple of tours, and he had it on his fatigues and he was front line. And when he would get up in the morning and put on his, clothes, he would pat the patch and say, what would Mikey do?
Ooh. And
then he said, yeah, I get choked up. And he hands it to Townsend and he goes, I can't keep that. And he said, no, I want you to have it. I need you to have it. There are a lot of kids on the spectrum that come. I knew nothing about that whole world until I started doing these. I did not get a handbook, but I learned I couldn't give you titles of what is going on, but I know the difference between swaying, lack of eye contact, tics, these kind of things. And one of the most fulfilling, grateful things I have is when parents bring their adult child, 17, 19 years old, 20, and they know their kid's never going to live alone. And I had one young man who saw our poster at a diner. His parents said he was nonverbal, and he let them know he wanted to go to this show and see us. Well, he comes up to my table, and I have this big poster behind me with my name on it with a bunch of my characters. And I said, okay, who's that? And I'm not mocking, folks, but his hands were here and his voice is kind of like, like this. That's Leonardo. And I go, who is this? That's Simba. Oh, that's Snoopy, and he's jumping up and down, and I start jumping up and down with him, holding, we're both holding both hands and stuff. His parents are about, 20 feet behind, letting him come up by himself with tears. Dad, who's a cop, he's like a jarhead, the hair and everything. He excuses him to go to the men's room because he's going to break down and, doesn't want to do that in public. So there are these, those things that are life-changing, and to be a part of that. And now at a certain age where I'm not working that much, I have the cons as a treat for people to connect from when they were kids. And I guess I do have a shelf life.
Oh, yes.
It's not like I was doubting. I was fine knowing I was in the, the book of animation, but it adds a wow factor that we remain current in their memories. We are current.
And to know that our God-given talent brings joy to these people. It chokes me up in my own career. I'm not the icon you are, but at my level of stuff, when I get this kind of feedback from fans, there was a youngster living in Canada who couldn't speak English and sent me a fan letter in French. And like 25 years later, he sent me one in English to thank me that he learned English to follow what I did.
Wow.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which only goes to, you've done some remarkable programming of lots of talented people, but your own personal God-given talent and appeal and charm and magnetism, isn't it wonderful that people really appreciate it?
And look who's here.
Look at that face.
What's your name?
He's got his mic muted for just a moment while he puts the thing in her ear so she can hear us talking. Hi, sweetie. You're looking very pretty today.
Yeah. Now they can hear you. Say thank you.
Thank you. I want someone like that.
I was trying to put it in your ear, honey. So he asked you your name. Can you tell him your name? You hiccups. Tell him your name.
Yeah.
Lila. So
hi,
Lila.
Nice to meet you.
I want to bring this back for a second. You said, you said I have a shelf life. Your shelf life is going to continue on and on and on. This is my 3.5-year-old granddaughter, Lila. Can you say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Teenage Mutant Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
So, are you done? You're done?
Okay. Well, thanks for the cameo appearance.
Well, we have an extra special guest this
both
evening.
Of them. Yay.
Savannah Jean. She'll be down in a second. So I have 2 3.5-year-old granddaughters. I have 2 daughters. They gave birth 9 days apart.
Oh, wow.
And generally, the one that everybody just saw on here has been on a few times. The one that you just met lives with me. And my other daughter, I guess, is here with my other granddaughter. So, but we can continue, and she might be shy and not come down.
The fame of the difference of the fame of my two careers. Is this the other one? Well,
this
hello.
Hold on, can you hear?
Yeah.
Hello.
Say hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Sweetie.
What's your name?
Ivana.
Ivana?
Ivana, yes.
Ivana. Nice to meet you. Nice to have you on our
Oh,
show.
what, you want to come back too? Come on.
No way.
Come on.
No
She's not sharing the stage. No way.
What is it?
That's so you can hear. Yeah, you might also take nanos.
Who gets top billing between the two?
Nano does.
Hey,
No, you don't want it?
my name is Vana. I'm on it.
Hi.
And you're Lila.
Yeah.
You're both beautiful.
You get 2 seconds.
At the count of 3, will you guys shout
Mean
turtle power with me?
turtles.
You mean the mini turtles? All right. Say bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye, girls.
I love you guys. I'll see you in a minute. Wait for Nono.
Ben is like the best father,
Go ahead.
the
Go
best
ahead.
grandfather.
Oh,
He is
my God.
such a family man. He lives for his family.
I want
Hold on. Do I get these in the right ear? Nope. See, they get me.
Oh man.
They get me all backwards and forwards and sideways. All right. Sorry.
I know we've got a few minutes before we're back at the barn.
Could we
Let's
talk
talk
about
a
your
second
album?
About the what?
Could we talk about your album for a minute?
Oh,
Inside Out.
Yeah.
sure. I share this one.
Yes. Yeah.
You may
One
do anything you
Yeah.
like.
The difference
mean-
between the fame of the Turtles and the King family, or anyone on camera, is a total different ball of wax. At our local Baskin Robbins, when I was little, I couldn't go in there without him dogging me to sing in his store. And finally, I gave in. So he lifts me up and he puts me on top of the counter, and I sing "Thank Heaven for Little Girls." We were at a restaurant, and this lady and the table behind us was drunk and giving the waitress a hard time. And my mom, and she was using language and stuff. And my mom turned around and said, "Excuse me, I've got my young son here with me. If you could try and just keep it down." And she looks over and she says, "I know you. You got your kids working for you." And I remember that, not knowing the implication of that. Now you fast forward to the Turtles, as big as Friends, as big as one of those 8, Seinfeld, whatever, How I Met Your Mother. Those people can't walk down the street. Now, I'm at the height of the fame, maybe season 3, and I'm wanting someone to, someone stop me on the street and go, "Hey, I'm somebody." And I'm in line for the movies, and I see this little kid, and he's decked out. He has a turtle hat, turtle t-shirt, sneakers, blah, 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 blah. And I think I'm going to give him a thrill. So I go up to him. He's got this big ice cream cone. I said, I see you like turtles. Uh-huh. Well, guess what? I'm Leonardo. And he goes, "Oh, yeah? And I'm Donatello." This is not made up. And he's got to be 7, whatever. So, okay, that's not a thing. And we tell people when we were hitting big, and people, "Oh, do your voice for my daughter." It's like, do you have another phone line? I will talk to her. But if I start acting up, she's going to freak, shit her pants and go run into her bedroom. So 2 totally different takes on fame. Now, I guess we could finish up with the album. Thank you for bringing that up.
I like your singing.
Inside Out. I'm kind of fond of him too. Are you talking about Inside Out?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I honestly, was that about 20 years ago, 25? Golly. I did an album in the gay community. In my knowledge, it seemed we were the cliche of the American songbook, and "Someday he'll come along, the man I love." These are great songs. I'm making mock. But it's like all we had were those Judy Garland songs and disco, both of which I love, especially disco. But I grew up, I grew up in the 70s, and before disco hit, my artists were Carly Simon, James Taylor, Janice Ian.
Sure.
I was into the folk rock scene. And I said, and bread. And every time I heard Aubrey or If, I would place the fantasy was not an opposite sex thing. And I had to construct that. As a lot of gay kids, I think it's innate. You put in that song, whether it's my love is gone or I'm in love or I want that person, I have to put someone in there that is not being sung about, and which is a whole different ball of wax. So I decided to make an album of that kind of song that was neither songbook, maudlin, cabaret, or a big disco thing. And I covered Something in the Way He Moves which is a James Taylor song, but the pronouns are male. I did Joni Mitchell's crap, help me.
I don't know that song.
Anyway, it's that genre, and all of the pronouns. Oh, and I did one of my first songs I remember as a child, Andy Williams, can't get used to loving, leaving, no matter what I try to do, gonna spend my whole life through, boom, boom, loving you. And it's iconic interlude, which is boom, 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 boom.
Great arrangement.
And so I do that on the album, but I'm talking to a guy, and I did some good business with it. I didn't want to, my publisher wanted me to go on the gay cruises and stuff. I went, wait, I have to work for it. But I did I did that during my voiceover career. And in the early days, I mean, I've been out since I started doing my animation career, and I would get mail from gay kids. Now we're talking back in the 90s. Scared they're going to lose their parents. What do? I want to come out and And although I don't know them and I cannot counsel them directly, were broad strokes I could pass on. And I'm really proud that there was that element in my career. And I guess, it was like, wow, if the guy who plays Leonardo and He-Man and Simba can be gay, maybe I'm not so bad. Now there's a question about, is He-Man straight or gay? So there's that.
Does it matter?
No, well, to the story, it definitely, and no, it doesn't matter. That's a joke.
Yeah.
But to not be meek and to be someone in charge, to be a superhero, can evade gay people. There's not room for that. Anyway, things have changed somewhat, but the album also got that kind of praise of, I'm hearing myself. I'm not having to substitute.
That's where I first fell in love with you. From that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
How did, I have to ask this question because I'm sure the couple of million people or 3 million people who will end up watching this sooner or later are going to ask, how did your family deal with your coming out?
When I came out to my immediate family, and when I say immediate family, there's about 16 of us. My mom had a dining room table that sat that many. And so this was my two brothers, their wives, and whatever grandkids were old enough to watch your show. Actually, no, because they were like from 13 up. And the conversation at the table. And here's a lost art, hanging out at the table. But you got to eat together to hang out.
I agree.
You didn't leave the table until the candles are burned down. And yes, there are candles. And the conversation turned to unconditional love. And one of the youngsters, 13, 14-year-old. Dad, to my brother, would you love me if I blah, blah, blah? Well, of course, of course. And I said that glib. I don't mean that. I mean, it was a sincere conversation.
Mhm.
And her father, my brother, said, you know, I did blah, blah, blah. And your grandma, you know, there was no love lost or anything. And I'm sitting there going, well, it's now or never, the conversation. And I said, what would you do if I told you I was gay? And of course, my shoulders start going and the tears start coming. And the only thing my father said at that moment, his knee jerk was, I'm so sorry you've had to go through this all by yourself. Who gets that?
That's powerful.
I sure as hell didn't.
That
God
was
bless your father. God bless your father.
Now, my mom, I mean, that dinner, everyone, it looked like the painting of the Last Supper. Everyone was on my side of this very long table, like touching me, hand on, you know, on me with tears and da 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 da. My mom, who was, you know, she did the, well, you know, I wondered, but there was no bad language. She did go to a shrink because the cliche was it's a domineering mother back in the day, that turns you gay, makes your kid gay,
right.
As far as the boys go. So she went to the shrink and she poses this question, and the guy or gal says, well, it doesn't work that way. And she's like, phew, not my fault. I'm done.
Cam, I in 30 seconds, I was thrown out at 15 for being gay. That your family embraced you. I have even like 9,000 more % respect for your family and for you.
Oh, yeah.
I have to add, though, if we're keeping it real,
please.
And I am so sorry, first of all,
thank you.
That happened. And I know you are so not alone in that.
No, unfortunately.
We were raised Mormon, and Mormon is not kind to homosexuals in any way, shape, or form. Never has been, you know. And I sent myself to shock treatment to zzz the gay out of me. And that's part of my one-man show, which is online. You can watch it. But what there was a learning, I mean, a horrible eye-opener for me, and not with all of them. The love never stopped. The acceptance never stopped, but the politics of the church, when they came out against Prop 8, whether it was vote yes on no or no on 8 about gay marriage, the church came out and said, you know, and it shouldn't, you know, separation of church and fucking state, but not with religion. As you know, they put their big old thumb, you know, don't vote for that. And I was shocked and brokenhearted that so many of the members chose to vote no because of the church. And that was a real heartbreaker and has been. And so the head problem is they love me so much and have never not wanted me around. In fact, I'm the mater. I'm the glue. And the kids will tell, the cousins will say that he's the only reason we're together, and he is the one who's held on to the old ways and blah, 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 blah. But when the church said this, they voted not with their blood, but with their God. And that's been horrible. Have they come around? Yes. I received a couple of apology emails. Still, I know that if the church were to say, gay people can't adopt babies or be school teachers or whatever. I don't even want to think about how that would go down. So, but that was very hard because the love had always been there, and they were ahead of the curve in those days for not even blinking when I came out. It was totally a big nothing. And yet, the church, and I know you said no religion, but saying that.
Well, I meant religious debates. You're free to free to speak. Yeah.
This is how it went down for me. And religion is so on the wrong side of history. And yet then they show up, but never in the, last to the table, never leading the way. I mean, if you're a believer in Christ as a rebel, and I'm going to change everything, which according to the scriptures, if if you're on board with that stuff, he changed things. He was not the last at whatever modern thing was coming down, social thing that was up for grabs. Anyway, so that's I don't know if you call that an after dark thing, but it has been a struggle, and sometimes that lack of unconditional love when it comes to politics has left a mark, even though things have come around. And I have to keep a broader picture that not people do come around, but it might not have even been an issue had the church not made that call. I'm sorry you got kicked out.
Well, you know what? To make you feel better and anyone who's watching, I got kicked out at 15. I made my first movie at 16. I was starring in an off-Broadway musical at 17. I took the disadvantage and turned it into an advantage, and I'm a happy guy. So my life has been lots and lots and lots of hard work, and I've had my knocks like everybody else, but I'm a happy guy. So it's not an unhappy story if you look at the whole story.
Right.
I'm glad.
And I'm on the other side of that, where I don't know how any parent could kick their child out for any reason. I have 6 children. So 3 biological, 3 adopted that I've been raising for over 20 years. I have a couple that are bisexual. I have relatives that are gay. And my theory to that is, I don't give a shit who you love as long as they fucking treat you right. Period. And I would never kick my child out for that. It's that simple.
And what part of the country in which do you live, sir?
I'm in LA.
Dinner is on me the next time I'm there. I'm in Palm Springs.
Oh, you are?
You mean you're gonna take him out to dinner, right? Dinner's not being served on you.
Am I eating grapes off of your chest?
Let's put it this way, sir.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Let's put it this way, sir. If that would please you, you may, but the invitation was for dinner out.
I would love that. I would welcome that. Because you're not getting me down in Palm Springs. Too much heat.
I will come to you. I come to LA 2-3 times a month. Next time I come to LA, we will have ourselves a splendid time.
Where are you? Where are you, Ben?
I am in America's hometown, Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Oh,
just south of Boston.
Oh, my favorite place in the autumn.
If you're ever in the Cape Cod area,
I will check my con schedule.
Yeah, feel free to give me a ring. And
my brain only holds what's coming this weekend.
Oh, you're lucky. Mine only holds what's coming in the next 5 minutes. But if you're ever on the East Coast, look me up. I mean, Jeffrey and Harlan both have my personal contact info.
Excellent.
And I just sent you my phone number, sir. So you'll have it.
In the email?
In our private chat here on this wonderful platform.
What did I just tell you about being a technophobe?
It's
you expect me to know where that is? Oh,
you know what? There you go. And you got his email too. So there you go.
Excellent.
Cam, you are a delight, and no
Right?
nonsense, no. You're just delightful. I'm so happy to finally get to know you, and
I'm so happy we finally got him on the show. It only took 6 months after the first scheduling.
Yeah. Sorry, boys, but thanks for your persistence, and thanks for still wanting to plug the book.
Oh, absolutely.
It was an insane experience,
Again, folks, check the show notes up above, down below, depending on where you're watching and listening to us. Cam's book is there. Cam, plug the book. Plug.
Yeah. Now they're all here. The King family, 100 years of entertainment from America's first family of song. That's right. Before the Jacksons, before the Osmonds, before the Jets. And I hope you will check it out. I'm very proud of it. A lot of love went into that. And also, if you're a fan, I have a step out chapter. Tina has a step out chapter. There's a thing on Alvino Ray written by his grandson from Arcade Fire. So the entertaining goes on, and Buddy Cole has his own section. And, my dad, the king of the B horror flick in the 50s, has his own section. So I hope you'll check it out. I'm really proud of it.
Excellent.
we're proud of you, my friend.
Excellent. So we
Thank you,
are a
boys.
little over time.
Yep.
We don't want to keep Cam because he does have other engagements to get
I have to pack for Miami. I leave tomorrow.
He's packing for Miami. He's got to leave tomorrow. What's wrong with you people?
Oh,
You're giving,
Jesus.
you're giving the punchline to one of the most offensive, wonderful jokes in the world.
yes.
All right, folks, this is just a joke, and I am Jewish. All right. What is the favorite Jewish American princess's wine? I want to go to Miami. So there you go.
I will end it. I know we've ended this about 3 times. My mother had no filters. Limericks were the name of the game.
Ooh.
And if you were kneeling in front of her to pick something up, and she'd go, well, as long as you're down there.
So, all right. So my favorite is when somebody's bending over. I say, that's how babies can get made.
There once was a girl. This is a naughty show, so I can be naughty.
Go ahead.
There once was a young girl. This is mothers. There once was a young girl named Harden who went down on her beau in the garden. He said in a huff, "Do you swallow that stuff?" And she looked up at him and said, "Pardon?" Thank you, Mommy. And good night, ladies and germs.
With that, folks, I'm gonna wrap the show
And if
up
you want
here.
more dirty limericks, write to me, direct message me, and I'll.
We cannot do better than that.
Other lovely
That was beautiful.
naughty stories.
That was beautiful. So, Cam, I know you don't do the social media stuff, but if a fan wants to reach out to you, how can they get in touch with you? Through your website?
I have Ye Old Facebook page, which you can find at Cam Clarke Voices, .com, and Clarke has an E, as you see on your screen. You can direct message me there. I have old clips from the King family that I show, and interviews and stuff with the Turtles, and all kinds of fun posts that you can check out. So that's where you find me.
So there you go, folks.
And you can buy the record that we spoke of.
Yes.
Inside
Right.
Out.
Or you can go to the website and buy the book.
That
buy it
too.
all.
It's not or. You can do both. Hey, kids, tell mom you can have both.
I have a better idea. Get off your ass this weekend in Miami and go see Cam at the convention.
Oh, baby.
How could you go wrong?
Right? Oh,
It's
what
that
could
simple.
possibly go wrong? Now you've jinxed it. Say goodnight.
I
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Jeffrey Mark, same question for you, brother.
I'm gonna marry that man. I've just met my next husband. On Facebook, Jeffrey Mark has it spelled just below me here. If you're only listening, it's GeoffreyMark. Jeffrey Mark Showbiz on Facebook. And say, kids, if you've had as much fun today as we've had, there is another show Ben and I do together. It's not a talk show. It is a music show. GPE, Jeffrey Mark Plays Ella. Every week, we play the music of the incredible Ella Fitzgerald on a theme. And I am with you in person, live on video, talking about the music, how it was made, the songs, the musicians, and of course, Miss Ella. Big Ben is our producer for that. So please join us. The show is released every Sunday in time for brunch, or be with us here on this wonderful talk show because we love you.
Like he said. So I want to thank
you, boys.
Cam. I wanna
Don't
thank
go away,
Cam.
Clarke.
And the first, that guy whose question you took, that's what I had edited out of this other podcast. Cause I was kind of like, guys, bullshit, my line, bullshit, my line. It's my job. I love what I do, but I don't go see the other incarnations. And that's and the presumption, it's like, which of them did you like best? And when we're on a panel, I just sit there and I go, which is your favorite? So the one guy that calls in, that chimes in, he addresses that thing that
you didn't want to discuss.
That I didn't want to discuss.
But it's probably the same guy he was probably the same guy that chimed in on the other one with the same question. But anyways,
right, folks,
we want to thank Cam for taking
still
time
live. All of that was on the air.
Yes.
I said, hold on. Look, that's the deer in headlights look, folks.
Wait, I thought it was over. You guys said goodbye and everything.
No, you said goodbye. He said, hold on a moment.
Okay, that was just an act, what I said. That was that other Leonardo. Fuck me.
Ben, do something here. Come on.
I am. We want to thank Cam for taking time out of his busy
boy
schedule.
Who was asking that? I'm doomed.
Not at all.
Doomed.
Not at
You're
all.
fine. We're a minute and 20 minutes into the show. The attention span of the general populace is like a minute and a half of the show. You're fine. Trust me.
Okay, if you find me dead, strangled by turtle pajamas tomorrow, if you see it on the news, it all happened here, folks. Are we still rolling?
We are still rolling, and nothing bad is going to happen to you because I need you. Ben, close the show.
Anyways, to all our veterans and first responders, we want to thank you for doing what you do so people like us can come up here and do what we do. Stay safe. We'll see you next week.
God bless and have a happy.
Bye.
So come on.